And I'll make a simple point. We saw something this week in New York City that astounded me. We saw our mayor try to tell us that there was something wrong with talking about the need for civil liberties and constitutional rights and respect for people in the community. Somehow the mayor thinks you can only have safety or you can only have civil liberties, but you can't have both. And that is part of his rationale for the overuse of stop and frisk, among other things. We had a fiery speech telling us we needed more of the same. The police commissioner did the same on Nightline a few days later. He told us we should be thankful stop and frisk isn't even higher, because he could use it even more if he wanted to. Well, that doesn't get the reality of this city. And I'll finish by saying this. This is a city where people are demanding both safety and respect. Both safety and fairness. This church has demanded progress for this community, not by saying we'll accept something unacceptable, but by saying we aspire to the kind of society we know we deserve. So we will make this a safer city, but we'll also make it a more just city.
The comment the other day by Deputy Commissioner Brown, the origin of that is that for reasons I find inexplicable, Commissioner Kelly went on Nightline and tried to justify the number of stops of young African Americans as being in fact less than it might be. And he did it in a way that I thought was insensitive, but more importantly, obscured the issue. He literally said that people should be content with the current state of stop and frisk because it could be even higher, which misses the fact that people feel this is a broken policy that's been broken for years and needs fundamental reform. I called out that comment because I thought it showed Commissioner Kelly was out of touch with what's happening on the ground, out of touch with the need for change, and was trying to rationalize a broken policy. Then his spokesman fired back and characterized my criticism as quote-unquote race baiting, which was not only unconstructive, it was outrageous, entirely missed the fact that there is a valid and necessary debate going on here in this city. We put out a video to make clear that we have a decision to make in this city, that I'm one of the candidates who has said this is an urgent situation that requires change and we need a new police commissioner to achieve it. One of my opponents, Speaker Quinn, has repeatedly said she would keep Commissioner Kelly and then simultaneously says she would make changes to stop and frisk. But it's quite obvious by the mayor's comments and the commissioner's spokesman's comments that there's no intention to make those changes. There's no intention to fundamentally reform the situation and to find a way to bring police and community back together. And meanwhile, we have this federal court case hanging over us, which with every passing day brings out new revelations that are deeply troubling to New Yorkers who not only care about public safety, they also care about civil liberties.
He wants to eliminate stop and frisk. We're talking about reforming it. Given that there's such distrust in the community, between the community and police, how would you go about it and reforming it so that that trust can be rebuilt?
I think you can't eliminate the basic police tactic of stop and frisk because it is a valid policing tactic. Pursuing a suspect description, for example, but doing it in a constitutional and appropriate manner, that's something you have to do as part of policing. But the notion that we can fundamentally reform the approach, we can make it fair. I know we can do that. So I disagree with anyone who says abolish a tactic we need. But I agree entirely we have to fundamentally reform it. We have to change the nature of it. And we're not going to do that with a police commissioner who continues to try and rationalize a broken policy.